that's good.
Make
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the March 12th meeting of the Board of Selectmen.
Second,
Any discussion?
no,
All in favor?
Aye.
You got, sorry, you have John waiting room.
There we go. So that thing with the notifications, it came up, it said notify anyway. So I hit the button to notify anyway.
all right.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah,
My daughter does that to me all the time.
Appointments and resignations, I would like to make the motion, we appoint Gabe Benjamin to the Washington Arts Council. Gabe, sent in his letter of interest, I think I forwarded to you and Dean, and did I speak to you?
Victoria
And Victoria, they were thrilled to have,
Rick, what's the number, I'll second the motion, but what's the number of people on that committee?
I think there was one vacancy, so I think it's full now. It was either 7 or 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We might be up to 9 now. We had somebody leave. The new executive director of the Institute for American
Oh,
Indian
that's where I
Studies.
knew the name.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Well, that.
We actually have 11 right now.
We have 11.
Uh-huh.
I'd say we're full.
Yeah. what
Unless
kind
somebody's gone off that nobody's told me.
Maybe.
Did we set a number of people for that committee? Because sometimes the committees like don't have a number.
I don't think it does, Jay.
He does.
Yeah, I'm just curious how many people are on it, that's all.
11 right now.
11 is getting a lot for a meeting, boy. Let me get that.
You guys can carry on.
11 people on any committee.
That's a full house.
Well, that's good, that's good.
It's good, but
All right.
yeah.
All in favor?
Aye,
Aye. First selectmen's report, just touch a little bit. Did some research on blight ordinances, we were asked
Yeah.
about last, or 2 weeks ago. I've used or looked at examples of Newtown and New Milford, and they're basically the same language. They're fairly broadly written, but I fired off to Randy DeBella to see or to understand how this impacts current properties,
oh, yeah, I saw that.
right? Like 101, and so I'm waiting to hear from him about that.
What did you think about the other app ordinances, the other towns? I mean, do you think they're workable?
I think they are, but they all said they're made up, you have an ordinance committee, and the state statute is very specific. It's the fire marshal, chief of police, building official. It lists like 5 different people that make up
This specific
this
committee?
committee, yeah, and then they, and it gives
Do we
rules.
have all those people?
We do,
I mean, assume you'd be one of them. The first
Yeah.
selectman would, or somebody from the board of selectmen.
yeah, and then it would fall to enforcement would fall under land use, like our enforcement
Yeah,
officer.
Sherry,
Yeah.
Shelley.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but the definitions you found to be workable, because I know that's always a concern, is that, what I think is blight, what you think is blight is,
yeah, Jay, the definitions are good depending on who's interpreting them, right? So if we get it,
and I assume there must have been over the years some actions in court that define, would better define what it actually is, based on court rulings or something.
yeah, when you look at it, most of them fall back on public safety. In other words, so it's not just somebody's
Yeah, I don't
definition
like the
of an
way the
eyesore.
yellow house looks over there.
You're right,
Yeah.
right. It's got to present either a health hazard or it's got to present a very clear impact to neighboring properties,
Sure.
things like that.
Well,
But it all, yeah,
I mean, I just think of Wickham is what my standard is.
well, and that, yeah, and that fits all of the criteria.
Yeah.
That the state statute spelled out.
All right, well, let's,
So we'll keep going forward with that. I was hopeful Dean was gonna be here. I wanted to talk about the kayak racks over at the beach. I did talk to our Parks and Rec director. And she didn't have any issues with the area that was staked out. But I had also sent off to Randy. We want an MOU done up by his office, so.
Yeah.
So this thing is pretty, so we're gonna have to wait on that.
did we ever get a price on moving the shed?
We are.
We haven't gotten it yet.
Not yet, they haven't finished it.
Okay,
So that's something else. Well, Jay, why don't you go ahead and I'll see if I can.
yeah, I just have a couple things. First off, we've been working on the budget and, that's spent most of our time doing the budget. I think we're made a lot of good efforts for it and, thanks to the staff and especially Linda Gomez for all the work she's done, with that and answering all our questions and answering the same ones again and whatever happens in the
Yeah.
meetings, but spent a lot of time and so have we, and it's a tough, you know, it's always a tough year. Everything, it's always hard to find things that people ask for things and most of them are very good and it's hard to make decisions, but we're all cognizant of the what we charge people with taxes. So, I think we've done a good job, but, we'll be there. The other thing is I just mentioned, Earth Day's coming up. And, we're again gonna be working with WEC to celebrate Earth Day on April
25th.
25th.
Are
Thank
they
you.
putting the dumpster?
I just ordered it.
There we go. Thank you.
There was a time though, we didn't have it out front. Do you remember? when
One
that
year, I
was?
think there was a
One year.
state, we had something, there was a stage out front or something one year, a few years back. I forget what it was, but anyway. Could have been when we were updating the whole area, but, and.
But it is going out
It'll
here.
be out front. There'll be some activities over at Judy Black and on the lawn here, that we're doing as well. Our newsletter's coming out in the next couple of weeks. Right? We're going to print
That
soon.
we,
Yep, so that'll come out as well. And, have a lot of good articles in there, a lot of stuff for people to know about. We've been doing, town has done a great job of, trying to find ways to be more sustainable. So it's been great.
Great. Thanks, Jay.
Yeah.
No old business, new business. So this is really, I had never even heard of this. Randy, you might have heard of this.
I don't know.
The attorney that brought it to me had never heard of it either, but it's about having a board of appeals for the decisions made by the building official. So he says that's not the code and somebody, it's something between that and court and litigation.
Which it makes sense.
You can do it at the town level, but the state provides a state board of appeals that you can go to. So my question is, why would we try to create another commission of well-meaning volunteers to,
Doesn't ZBA handle that for the building official?
I mean, land use, but the building official,
That's what I'm saying. Some of this, I don't know which ordinance says, but some of the ordinances incorporated that. That may be what they're talking about.
yeah, he thought it, and he made sure he put in the caveat. He says, I've had nobody want to appeal something your building official has done. He said, but this just came up.
As a
I-
thought, yep,
I can tell you it would be nice to have having been through a big addition
Mm.
and going through, what did I get cited for? A garden fence?
For code or land use, Randy?
This was, when I was getting my permit, I was gonna hold it up.
Oh,
And there was the building official they had before, there's some sort of, I mean, it was the stuff that they were citing was just, that he did, some of it was just.
so this would give you relief short of having,
You could go to ZBA. and-
well, this is different than going to ZBA, is what you're saying.
this board would be.
Right, because ZBA is for zoning, if zoning denies you something
Right.
and you're looking, this is, then you got your
Oh,
permit.
you're right.
And now you're going to the building official to build.
Yeah.
And he says, nope, that's not code, or this is code,
And you're saying, yeah, it is.
You don't agree. I
Right,
guess the question, it wouldn't be a permanent committee, Jim, right? It'd be an ad hoc committee, I'm not
yeah,
just saying we should do that, but it's like the one we have, what is it, Valerie Friedman is
an
our,
appeals officer.
yeah. So that, like that versus having somebody go to the state, right? The state, whatever this commission is, the state is.
Correct, the state board of appeals. You can appeal it to
Yeah,
them
They may,
without an attorney.
they may wanna be trying to integrate some of these ideas because of the new housing, affordable housing enactment.
Hmm,
And if you talk to developers, the biggest holdup and a big part of the expense is the permitting process and the length of time that it takes.
Mm.
So I think possibly the gist of this is you get some immediate relief.
yeah,
To expedite.
Well,
yeah, because litigation is,
right,
I mean,
we don't wanna do, right, this
Yeah.
is a way to hopefully get, but it's sort of a yes or no answer either way. It's just whether the building official is right or wrong.
I didn't think there was a lot of gray area there.
No,
I
but
mean,
that's-
code is code.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I don't know what, I guess one question I would have, if you can, before we, is what's the timeline if somebody applies, it appeals to the state commissioner group, what's the timeline for it?
So the statute spells all that out, when they have to act within so many days of being notified, the ding, ding, ding.
And the state has to act within so many days?
Correct.
Okay, because my concern was, if appeal to the state could be longer than it takes to get court to, a judge to decide, so.
Yeah,
If you want, I can give you an example of one I had.
sure.
I dealt with a state building official. And the lumber yards, when they're doing the plans, will give you a plan to, a framing plan.
Hmm.
It's strictly for their uses on quantity,
Mhm.
and they will do certain pieces on the, not the posts, but they'll do the dead loads and the live loads that you're supposed to meet. The problem is people were using those plans as an engineered framing plan, and it's not.
No,
So we ran into one, they had to, oh my God, it went up 3 stories and there was all sorts of damage. Because they didn't do the post.
Yeah.
Config. Just, an engineer would have done it.
right,
So I got a hold of the state and building official at the time, talked to her, told her what was going on. That maybe you want to send a memo out to building officials not to use these lumberyard framing.
Home
plans.
Depot, Lowe's, yeah,
An engineered framing plan, and that's something that could be subject to.
yeah, appeal,
Yes,
yeah, for sure.
It would seem like since nobody has any recollection, and the gentleman who brought it up certainly would have recollection of that happening, that we haven't had that issue,
Yeah,
then I would just go with the state for now.
I think
We
so.
started having regular issues with it, I guess. Then it
Yeah,
became
we
more
haven't even-
local, but I don't seem to feel
Right.
the immediate need.
no.
And then it's just a matter of having the form available for somebody to, or if somebody has a complaint, then to tell them here's where you can go.
Right,
I
right.
wonder if Peter's even aware.
I gotta talk to Peter about it, cause I'm sure he's not.
I'd be curious whether.
Visitors, John?
I'm here, Jim. Thank you.
Sure.
I totally agree with Jay. Who is more expert than the building official and the state? If you get a local board, they would probably have to consist of licensed contractors who have passed certifications. So, yeah, I don't think a local appeal is really going to be beneficial. As a matter of fact, it could complicate matters, especially if you don't get the right people on that board.
Yeah, you'd have I think, I agree, you'd have a bunch of well-meaning volunteers that could exacerbate the problem rather than solve it, but
And
Thanks,
the
John.
locals who have to do it, so that's not great.
yeah. Randy?
Yeah, well, I'll jump on that one. It's, put it this way, I took care of the issue with a phone call
Mm,
to the state building department. And the one thing about the state or the building officials, anytime there's a significant zone building code
Project,
change,
yeah.
they have classes, they have meetings on it. So and then your average person isn't. The reason I came down here is, what is the webpage gonna be like?
Well, what do you
let's
mean,
look
Randy?
up-
What's wrong with
Let's
it?
look up there and see when it's gonna be
I
done.
know the stuff I used
Well,
to
we're
get,
trying, yeah.
and I can't.
We are too.
As somebody who has to post on it, I'm not quite there yet either.
So
Same.
I think the best person to deal with that would be Jeff. Cause he's sort of our IT guy. He's at the very least, he's neck deep in it with trying to get it straightened out with, is it Civic Plus?
Civic Plus.
Yeah,
And understand, they were not gonna service the old one, so we had to move, right? We didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Whether we wanted to move it yet. They came up with a new
Yeah.
version and they were not gonna support the old version, so we had to move.
but we want the new version,
Clearly,
the old version friendly.
Yeah.
Where like my first run-in with it was I was trying to find minutes that were more than 5 years old or something. You
Yeah.
used to be able to go back as far
Yeah.
as you could, and I couldn't find anything, but. Let me connect with Jeff in the morning, Randy, and I'll shoot you an email, or maybe I might even have Jeff reach out to you.
It's just, they're working to bumble through this thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
I
coming.
thought it was just me.
Oh,
No,
no, it's not.
No, it's really like
And,
it.
and that's the people who have to deal with it all the time. They're,
no, just as a quick example, Randy, to post minutes, you have to go to the agenda center.
Oh,
And then you've got to work your way through about 4 or 5 different clicks to finally get to a spot that says post minutes. And
are they charging money for this?
and clearly the people who redesigned it don't have to use it, you know, it's always that kind of thing, you know.
I know it's a problem when I hear Mary Ann using colorful. language.
No.
By golly. look at what she said.
Where'd it go?
That's my comments for-
Thanks,
you.
Randy.
Yeah, we feel you.
So we're gonna go into executive session.
Oh, so moved.
Thank you, everybody.
Motion to, yes, go in.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Aye. Thanks, Randy. Thanks, Michelle.
Michelle, thanks for looking at this
Sharon.
list.
You know, it wasn't great news, but we'll get you better news.
I guess you should say in there to discuss a personnel matter or something on the.
I did on the agenda,
Yeah, I
so
saw that.
when I do the minutes.
That's what the budget, that's what the agenda, I mean, the motion was, right, Jim?
Correct.
Yes.